Yeah, hey, how's it going? I apologize for lighting. It's late in the day. Normally, I make these when there's natural lighting, and that's a lot better. This isn't that great, obviously. I think it's even worse. So it goes. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to make a video pretty quickly. Although there's news coming out of the terror attacks in Paris, looking like 26 people dead. Quite awful, and I would have and rightly so, that news will knock probably news about the thing I'm about to talk about, kind of knock that aside. So be it. But what I was going to talk about was recently some of the unrest is at the University of Missouri, at Yale University. It seems to be sparking bouts of unrest, bouts of protest at different universities across the country. I mean, here and there, I can think of spots. And yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a fascinating situation because it really, yeah, I mean, it really speaks to the trade-offs. It seems to be involved in these kind of situations in so many ways. I mean, there's, yeah, it's very much pros, very much good things, very much not so great things. So, I mean, I'm assuming everyone's relatively familiar. The University of Missouri, there were racial tensions over some incidents. Yeah, understandably, I think certainly understandable. I shouldn't say racial tensions, but there were concerns. There were several sort of racist incidents, and it looks like the college president didn't respond in a timely manner, and ultimately he was forced out by various. I mean, it looked like a lot. It looks like from the distance that a lot of the university had really kind of had various complaints. It looks like he lost a lot of support across campus, and it also looks like what finally did it in was the football team threatening not to play. I think it would actually have it would have lost $1 million if they hadn't played Brigham Young University. Anyway, this is sparked, and there was an incident at Yale, which. Much more complicated. I didn't really want to get into it. I mean, if you want to find out, it's very much involved with all kind of very specific, particular things about Yale. I mean, the Missouri case seems to be, in a lot of ways, more interesting. The Yale case seems to be tied up with a lot of the oddness of Yale, and not as interesting for that reason. Yeah, one of the things, but so. I mean, it's kind of in the situations that you have in Missouri. I mean, I think it's really kind of tough to assess in some ways because some of the criticism is, well, all right. So there's a basic question, right? You have these racist incidents. You have these these kind of things occurring, and now certainly if there are threats, if there are outright threats, right? If there's outright criminal activity. Certainly, the police are to be called, right? Authorities are to be brought in. But in responding to these kind of racist provocations, someone shouting racist slurs, someone apparently drew a swastika in a dorm bathroom, I think it was, in human feces. Good God, what is this madness? But anyway, but in responding to these sort of provocations. On the one hand, you want to say, look, if these students feel empowered, if the students feel comfortable responding forcefully, right, speaking out against this kind of thing, that's to the good, right? That's it's good that they feel that they can do that. It's good that they feel confident enough to do that. It's good that they're willing to do that, and I think a lot. And I think generally a very positive sign. On the other hand, right, you have the difficulty that, I mean, there is the question, are you feeding the trolls, right? Are you, look, when these incidents occur, and again, if there are serious threats, or if there's something really, if there's real serious, if threats are serious, then authorities need to be involved, and serious threats need to be taken seriously. But I think the other side is the response to these kind of provocations, the response to these sort of incidents or response to these kind of things. I mean, yeah, again, do you feed the trolls? I mean, do you set up a situation where you're responding to lots of these things? I mean, that does give someone who wants to provoke you. I mean, that does give someone who wants to provoke you or antagonize you a lot of opportunities to do so. I mean, it really. Yeah, I guess I would worry that it sort of puts you at their beck and call, or if you have to respond to racist incidents, to someone who shouts racist slurs, if you have to respond to that gives that person a lot of power. That person can shout racist slurs. The person can shout racist slurs. That person can do terrible things, and get you to respond. It seems to me that the one downside is, yeah, that it's putting a lot of power in someone else's hands. Another, I think, kind of difficult trade-off, or another kind of, I guess, interesting difficulty and opportunity that comes out of this is you look upon incidents like this as a possible opportunity for positive change, right? You look at it as a possible opportunity to improve situation at a university or in society as a whole. Right, you look upon this as an opportunity for positive change. You certainly hope that it can be used in that way. That can be used as an opportunity for positive change. The problem, of course, is that the moment is quite heated. Right, the problem, of course, is that emotions are running quite high. Things are moving very quickly, and there's not a lot of time for reflection. There's not necessarily a lot. I mean, I think I would worry, right, if you're making policy, if you're trying to make decisions, if you're trying to decide what course of action to take in light of these provocative events, in light of these kind of what's been stirred up on campus, right? I would worry the decisions are not necessarily going to be good ones. I would worry they'll be made in haste. They'll be I would worry there would be a lot of very much a temptation to respond to who's shouting the loudest, to try and respond in a hasty manner, and tamp things back down. Now, the problem, of course, is that if you wait, right, if you attempt to be more deliberative, if you attempt to think these policies through, if you attempt to think them through more, if you attempt to take more time, if you attempt to formulate a really well thought out good policy over time, you may lose the impetus, right? You may lose the momentum that you've gained from this crisis, that you've gained from this difficult situation. And those are difficult trade-offs, right? So I would the third and final thing I guess I would say about that's fascinating to me with the incidents at Missouri is wow, I am kind of amazed at how much the people today live online. And I guess there's no small irony in me saying that since I'm making a video for YouTube. I mean, I certainly appreciate the irony of that. But wow, when I was in college, yeah, nothing I said would have made it wouldn't have been on the local news, much less broadcast to the world via the internet. And perhaps I don't. Yeah, I mean, I've known that, and I've been aware of that for a while. I guess I'm just fascinated by the fact that in colleges, which often seem very parochial, which often seem very kind of their own little self-contained worlds, which they are in a lot of ways, and the Yale case really made that clear. I mean, a lot of the debates, right, that in the past would have been very parochial, that would have been very particular, that would have been very specific to these campuses being played out for a much wider audience online. It's pretty genuinely fascinating. All right. So thanks. Have a great day and a good weekend. I will try and make another video tomorrow. I suspect I will have my son running around like a lunatic though, although that's always great fun. But yeah, I will see if I can get another video and probably, well, we'll see about the attacks. All right, so hope you have a good weekend, and I feel terrible. Heart goes out to the people in Paris. Heart goes out to the injured and the families and friends of those who lost loved ones in Paris. It's quite sad. quite terrible. So Paris, good luck. All right, thanks. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye.